So this is a very short guide on how to operate hotel mode in the ATR series of small regional airliners, unlike the standard Boeing and Airbus larger airliners. You can see in the background have an auxiliary power unit within the tail that allows them to power up their systems without running the main engines. The ATR doesn't have an auxiliary power unit, so it has to use engine 2, which is the engine on the right hand side of the aircraft as you're looking forward, and it runs the engine without spinning the propeller. This is to stop anyone on the ground, passengers being boarding, ground crew, etc., being injured by rotating propellers. So it is quite problematic. A lot of people have problems basically turning this system off when they want to actually get the aircraft going. So this method is guaranteed and it should work. So the first thing to do, and I'm going to skip steps which are not related to the engines, so you'll obviously have other things to do when you are setting the aircraft up to depart. But basically you need to make sure that ground power is enabled on the electronic flight bag, the EFB. On the overhead panel, battery on, and make sure that external power available is ticked on. Go back to the main display, clear the master caution, and you need to wait for the PFD displays to power up before we proceed. It does take a little while, so you have to be patient. So now that the PFD screens are activated, we can go back to the overhead panel, set the prop brake to on, set the fuel pump for engine 2 to run, set the engine starter to start AB, and press the start button for engine 2. Back on the main panel, you're waiting for the NH% for engine 2 to come above 10. Then you can change the fuel condition lever to feather, just feather, and you'll see that the NH is increasing, the oil pressure is increasing. Now outside you'll hear that the engine is spooling up, but the propellers are not spinning. Perfect, this is exactly what we want. So back in the aircraft, you'll go through all the other steps of setting the aircraft up for departure, pushing back, etc. Once you're pushing back, or in the process of pushing back, you will turn on engine 1. Now to turn on engine 1, we need to set the fuel pump on for engine 1, set the engine starter to start AB, and press start for engine 1. Back below you'll see NH rise up to 10, and set the fuel condition lever to feather. Now outside you'll see that engine 1 is spooling up. Engine 1 is not affected by the prop brake, so whenever you are running hotel mode for the ATR, you need to remember this engine 2 is the engine that doesn't spin up. So now that the oil pressure is increased, we're getting good figures in the green for engine 1, we can increase the fuel condition to auto, go back overhead to the panel, and you're waiting for the hydraulic pressure lights to extinguish. And only when they are extinguished can we disengage the prop brake. And you'll hear the engine spooling up gently in the background. The lights are extinguished. Release the guard, set the prop brake off, wait a couple of seconds, the unlock light is lit, you get the ready sign. When you go back outside, you'll see that engine 2 is now starting to spool up. Back down below, and you can set the fuel condition lever to auto for engine 2 as well. So there you have it, you successfully engaged and disengaged hotel mode in the ATR.